All right. So it's been about a week. The music, has traveled quite a distance. We made it to Africa. We made it to Europe. We're in Asia. I don't know if we made it to India, but I may have to look again. I think we did. So let's talk about it. So, what inspired Space Time Conundrum? You might ask. So, the inspiration behind Space Time Conundrum, and ironically, that was the last song we did on the project. I mean, recorded. Even though it's the intro track, it was the last one we recorded for the project. Now, what inspired Space Time Conundrum? Where were you when you felt the need to make a song like that? So, again, that was the last song, right? So it was, when did I record it? I don't remember. I think it was October of last year, if I can recall. So the inspiration behind it is just, just me looking out. And what I observe is that people are still chasing. You know what I mean? They're in pursuit. And me, I don't even know what people are chasing, to be quite honest. People chasing likes on social media, people chasing validation from certain people, places, and whatever. So when I see a lot of that still going on in 2026, I'm thinking to myself, like, still? Some people still chasing likes, bought the blue badge, but we still know your life. That's where that line came from. And I see a lot of people's social media is highly curated, and I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Some people are a brand. Some people are a business. Um, but I'm talking about just the individual, right? The individual, because the individual, when they come together, they make a whole. So when I see individual people just chasing, I'm like, man, it's 2026, man. And when you continue to chase trends, validation, this, that, all that means is that you're running away from yourself. You're running away from you. You don't want to sit with yourself. So you chase this, you chase that. And ultimately, what that does is it stagnates your growth as an individual. And when the individual is stagnated, the group is stagnated. Niggas need to regroup and find some new ways to deal with life. That's what I mean by that. We're still here. We're still there. You just fragmented all over. You're not thinking about the grand scheme at play. When your energy, everything is scattered, there's nothing substantial gonna come out of anything that you're doing. People refuse to collaborate, and I mean meaningfully come together and do things meaningfully without the ego involved. And that's what Space-Time Conundrum. You got a little bit of space and a little bit of time. Is going to expire. Sometimes it expire in the first stages of your life. Sometimes it's the mid stages of your life. Sometimes it's later on in life, if you're lucky. But ultimately, it's going to expire. You are going to expire. So what are you chasing? Because all you're doing is running away from yourself. The more you chase, you're just running away from yourself. Like the late great Bob Marley said, you're running and you're running and you're running away. But you cannot run away from yourself. But yet you still feel the need to keep running, chasing. You want certain groups of people to validate you, for you to feel as if you matter or you belong. Or for you to feel like whatever it is that you're doing means something. Well, for us, whether you clap, whether you don't clap, it doesn't matter. Because one thing I learned is that a beautiful rose, if you place it in a busy street, or you place it in a back alley where nothing or no one sees it, it's still a beautiful rose. The rose is still going to be beautiful whether you see it or not. So what are you chasing? Whether people clap or don't clap, you're still a beautiful soul. That's what space-time conundrum is. You're chasing, you're running, but you have a limited amount of time. It's finite, meaning that it's going to end at 10, at 20, maybe 30, 40, and if you're lucky, 70 plus. You know, that was the motivation behind Space-Time Conundrum. I don't want to preach. I don't want to sound preachy, but that was the motivation behind Space-Time Conundrum. Just me looking out at the world and seeing people still fighting, you know, for things that they cannot grasp and hold on to. You know, life is short. It's going to pass. You know, me personally, I think it's crazy for me to live in a community, right? And I'm the only one with a big ass house and a gate around my house, and everything else outside of my gate is destitute. So when those destitute people jump over my gate to go take and steal from me, for me that's not going to be shocking. But I don't want to put myself in a position where that has to happen. You know, I would personally open up my gate, you know, with reason, of course. Everything with reason, of course. But the chasing, the running, me, I've already tapped out of that. You know, I've already tapped out of chasing and running. And, you know, I leave most of it to God. And, you know, however things unfold, you know, sometimes that's just how they unfold. You know, you can do this, you can do that, but, you know, life is life. Life is going to happen. So why chase this, and that just to find out that it's finite? You know what I mean? So that was the whole motivation around this record. You know, space-time conundrum. A little bit of space and time. You know, you got this space, you got this time. Whatever you do, that's what you do. But stop trying to grasp it. That's the whole motivation. I mean, the whole motto for this record. Stop trying to grasp it, because you're not going to behold it. It's going to flow right through your fingers. Love.
Even now I'm seeing man, they spot time in space, time conundrum. Yeah, I bring you what you want. Yeah, I'm singing what they want.